You're not the girl you think you are. You're not the girl. Hey, Stephen, is that Brothers in Arms, Stephen? Hey, Yoa. Yeah, see, I can't really see on this screen. It's so tiny. Stephen, I just wanted to check if that was you, Brothers in Arms. Yeah. I'm going to make a start on the tabs for that today, Stephen, just so you know, yeah? I've just been away on holiday to see my mum and my folks back up home. I got back the other day, so I do plan to start on that. You're not the girl you think you are. No. The naughty shoes under your bed. He'll take you places in his car that you won't forget. No. And all the people that you know. Yeah. Will turn their heads as you go by. But you'll be hard to recognize with the top down and the wind blowing. Who we got here then? I'm just running through a few numbers here, guys. Just refreshing my memory on a few little bits and pieces that I'm getting a little bit rusty on. So many songs to kind of keep track of. Anybody like Crowded House? I think this is a really nice number, this one. Just give you a little flavour of it before I move on. I'm just going to run through a few little bits and pieces. I just wasn't sure whether you might like to have a listen. So here we go. This is called Not the Girl You Are. And it's a really nice track, I think. It's very Beatles orientated for me. It sounds very like they were trying to sound like the Beatles. You're not the girl you think you are. No. The naughty shoes. You can tell I need to practice these, can't you? You're not the girl you think you are. No. The naughty shoes. That's weird, man. This is weird stuff. Try again. You're not the girl you think you are. No. The naughty shoes under your bed. He'll take you places in his car that you won't forget. No. You know, yeah. We'll turn their heads as you go by. But you'll be hard to recognize with the top down and the wind blowing. How chorus, yeah. He won't deceive you, tell you the truth. Come on, believe you have one in a million. It's a really nice track, that. I didn't make it sound very nice, but it is actually quite a nice track. And I have done a lesson on it, as I have with many of these tracks. So, hey, thank you very much, Mike. It's good to see you again. One of my regulars. It's always good to hear these. Name that tune. Nobody naming it just yet. I'm sure you all know that one. You got it, Mike. Don't take her for granted. She have a hard time. Don't misunderstand her or play with her mind. If you believe, I know that in time you got to know she's a sensitive kind. Tell her you love her each and every night. Soon you will discover she will treat you right. If you believe, I know that in time you got to know she's a sensitive kind. Yeah, that's a quite a nice one. J.J. Gale. Just looking what I've got going on here. What have all you guys been up to anyhow? Who we got here? So cool. Oh, hey, thank you very much indeed. Who we got here? Orlando Canton Gonzalez. Hey, yeah, thank you very much. And thank you, Yash. And who else we got here? Practice makes perfect, Stephen. Too right. We do know. I don't know if you know the... I know I stand in line until you think you have time to spend the evening with me. Thanks, Dave. You put me off there. There's a little tune. I think this is well worth taking a look at, guys. It's a two-part tutorial, yeah? And the first part is just a simple part, which I'm going to play you now. The second part is a finger-picked lesson, okay? So it's Something Stupid if you're looking for the lesson by Joe Murphy, obviously. And yeah, the first part of the first tutorial, I think, is a really pretty little song. So it goes like this. I'll play you just a little bit. I know I stand in line until you think you have time to spend an evening with me. And if we go someplace to dance, I know that there's a chance you won't be leaving with me. Afterwards we drop into a quiet little place and have a drink or two. And then I go and spoil it all by something stupid like I love you. I can see it in your eyes that you despise the same old lies you heard the night before. It's just a line to you, for me it's true, and never seemed so right before. I practice every day to find some clever lines to say, make the meaning come true. But then I think I'll wait until the evening gets late and I'm alone with you. A bit early for singing. The time your perfume fills my head, stars get red and all the nights so good. My word, bad singing. And then I go and spoil it all by singing something stupid like that. A nice little track that, I think. A little bit out of practice, I must add. Yeah. It's nice for you to join me, guys. I just thought I'd fire this up. I didn't really have anything in mind when I started it. So that's kind of quite good. Okay, are we still here, guys? I'm sorry about this. I don't mean to get boring. Are we still with it? Yeah. Oh, okay. How did they let you go? How's everything up in heaven? I would like to know, why did you trade heaven for all these earthly things? Where did you leave your little hello? Where did you lose your wings? How did you leave heaven? How could they let you go? How's everything up in heaven? I would love to know, why did you trade heaven earthly things? Why did you leave your little hello? Where did you hide your wings? Now if I kissed you, would it be a sin? And if I missed you. This is a nice track, guys. Another one well worth taking a look at, and it's a big Bill Broonzy track, and he's a real big favourite of mine. I like so much of his music. You know, he can play something delicate like that, and then he can, you know, if you've watched the recent yeah, I don't know if I'm a little bit out of tune, but anyway, yeah, big Bill Broonzy, yeah. He's good old Big Bill. Yes, Patrick. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. You're in training, yeah? Well, that's really, really good. I'm glad to hear that, Patrick. A chord, yeah. Keep with it, Mike. Keep with it, because it will come, mate. What was it? What was it you were saying, Patrick? Where are you? once I lived the life of a millionaire. Spent all my money, didn't have any cares. Took all my friends out for a mighty good time. We drank bootleg liquor, champagne wine. Then I began to fall so low. Lost all my good friends, had nowhere to go. If I get my hands on $1 again, I'll hang on to it till that old eagle is gone. I love the solo in that as well. Well, it will take time, Patrick. Yeah, you will get there in the end, though, I'm sure. Dave, yeah, do you like the old noodling? A bit of noodling, yeah. No, it's not that. Lovely little song. Paul, San Francisco Bay Blues. Hey. I got the blues for my baby let me down San Francisco Bay. The ocean liner gone so far away. I didn't mean to treat her so bad. She was the best girl I ever did have. She'd say goodbye and make her cry. I wanna lay down and die. Well, I ain't got a nickel and I ain't got a lousy dime. She don't come back, think I'm gonna lose my mind. If she ever gets back to stay, it's gonna be another brand new day. Walking with my baby down San Francisco Bay. Crazy about, she don't love me no more. Think I'll find me a freight train, 'cause I'm feeling blue. Ride all the way to the end of the line, thinking only you. Meanwhile in another city, just about to go insane. Thought I heard my baby love, the way she used to call my name. And if she ever gets back to stay, it's gonna be another brand new day. Walking with my baby down San Francisco Bay every day. Walking with my baby down San Francisco Bay. Walking with my baby down San Francisco Bay. Yeah, can't beat a bit of San Francisco Bay Blues. It's always a good one to play. It's a nice song to play. It always gets a really good reception, that one. Very, very good reception. People tend to like that song quite a lot. Dee 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 dee. La da 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 da. La da da da. Bee bee dee bee dee. Yeah, did anybody check out this is nice, you know, for those of you who are into playing your guitar and stuff like that. I try and take a look at some different things. I mean, most of my lessons do have a point in mind. I mean, there are songs which are great to learn and stuff like that. But even with the songs, I choose particular songs to help you with particular aspects of your playing. And so that can vary just from a very, very basic rhythm to something quite advanced fingerstyle type playing and things like that. And so, you know, many people are looking to play complicated kind of fingerstyle or, you know, quite complex numbers because they think they will have arrived once they're able to do that. And there is a lot of truth in that. You know, once you can play those type of things, it is a major breakthrough, as it were. But I still say to people, you can't underestimate the value of just being able to play a three chord song very, very well. You know, that's where a beginner might struggle in a sense because it's trying to make a three chord song sound interesting. So when we can make simple songs sound really, really good, we've arrived again in a different sense. And I've just been recently looking at, I don't know if any of you will have heard of the guy. I tend to do songs which people will have heard of in the main. But I've been listening, and I have for many years listened to John Prine, and I think he's a great artist. He's quite country kind of style, I suppose. But he's a fantastic songwriter. The Plastic Thing, I don't know the name in English. I think it is a picker. It's a plectrum, Patrick. Uh, yeah, Paul. No, it's not a problem, Patrick. Just try and practice because it's always good to have another string to your bow, yeah? So just persevere, just kind of just it will be a little bit sticky at first, but the more that you practice, you know, the easier it will become. So don't give up on it. I don't use a plectrum a whole lot. So just to get back to what I was saying, simple songs, being able to play simple songs well is an art in itself. Yeah. Yeah, Mike's, that's fine. That's a finger sound, yeah. So this is what I can do with my thumb, just my thumb. And that's same again with the plectrum. So you just get a harder sound. If you can use your thumb or your fingers like a plectrum, then you're on a winner. So let me just see what Stephen was saying there. Stephen, I find three chords get hard for the listener if you're not a singer. I only wish I could hold a note. You know what? That is a very, very important point, Steve, because if you can't sing and you're just playing a three chord song, um, well, take off the fingernail, Patrick. Just file it down or cut the fingernail so you're playing with the flesh on your finger. So, Steve, it's a very, very valid point. And I don't know how bad a singer you are or whatever else. But I do believe that most people can hold a tune. I know there'll be a lot of people saying, no, I can't sing to save my life and everything else. And I do appreciate that that can be a very, very difficult thing. But then on another level, you know, if that is the case, perhaps you know somebody who sings because it's great to get together with people. You know, the whole your musical skills will develop so much quicker if you play with other people than what they will if you play on your own. I locked myself away for years playing by myself, really. And I never really thought, you know, my first priority was the guitar and things like that. So I never really saw myself as a singer. But it was only when people kept saying, oh, you're not a bad singer, you're not a bad singer, you know, you can hold a tune and things like this. That I think it was just lack of belief in myself, really. But once I had that, I just started singing. Because even if you can't sing, Steve, and you're just sat on your own, it just helps, even if it's badly out of tune or whatever else, to show you where you are within a song. So, even if you whistle or hum or, something like that, then yeah, that is difficult, Patrick. It is difficult to do that when there's nobody local who plays. I tend to save the laughter. I hum to save the laughter. Okay, I live in a small town in Thailand. Oh, wow. That sounds good, Patrick. I could do with a little trip to Thailand myself. I could sure do with some of your beach weather. And a few gigs out in Thailand would be nice. But anyway, hum instead of sing. Yeah, I did get that, Steve. Well, that's fine. That again is fine. But as I say, look, if you are in a position whereby you can play with other people, do check it out. Hey, Stacks, nice to see you, and greetings to you. We got Stacks there in France. So yeah, look, one little bit of advice for today's lesson is that if you do know people, hey, wow, thanks, Pat. That sounds good. Yeah, so the one bit of advice is that if you do know of anybody who plays, who sings, who does anything like that, then just try and make the step to hook up with them or something like that. And if you live somewhere where it's very, very remote, there are places online where you can collaborate. I used to do some collaboration online myself, and the name of the site was Compose, and that is Kompoz. So if you don't have anybody local and you're looking to collaborate, and you have the means to record yourself, hey Stacks, I'm France too. Hey Stacks, I'm French too. Hey, okay. So yeah, if you can record something, that Compose site is pretty good because you can just like upload a file and then somebody will put a file with it. So yeah, and so Steve, I can understand why you're looking to play things like Brothers in Arms and things like that. If you're not a singer, then that's fine. But the job is bigger because we're not just strumming a few chords, yeah. When we're doing our brothers, it gets a little harder, obviously, than strumming. I should be tabbing this, shouldn't I, Steve? Not playing it. I think I'm out of tune. Yeah, I should be tabbing that out for you, Steve, instead of doing live broadcasts. I just wanted to catch up with people. My last few broadcasts have been pretty average, not too great. I thought I was a bit sharp there. He is a good picker, isn't he, Mike? There's no doubt about that. He definitely is a good picker. I'll be back 1 second, guys. Just give me a second. Just wanted to check something out in one of my little Bibles here. It's a song I'm kind of looking for. Yeah, no, it's not there, unfortunately. Unfortunately not. That's weird. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm sorry about this. Just give me 1 second. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. Don't disappear. Finger picking's great for those of you who haven't like ever had a go at it. I've done a course on finger picking over at Patreon. There's a 3-part course. And it's something that you really want to try and get into because finger picking really does take your playing. Thanks, Stacks. And so yeah, if you haven't done it before, then it's well worth a go because it kind of takes your playing to another level in a sense. If we can't get along, we ought to be apart. And I'm wondering where you get that cold heart. Fire and love is dead and cold. I'm tired of being a villain of the piece. You've been giving me a bad time. Tell me what I do. I can always get a hard time, honey, when it comes to you. Saying things that you didn't have to. I can always get a hard time, honey, when it comes to you. You only get one life, this I know. Get my licks in now before I go. The fire and love is dead and cold. I'm gonna satisfy the hunger in my soul. You've been giving me a bad time. Tell me what I do. I can always get a hard time, honey, when it comes. Saying things that you didn't have to. I can always get a hard time, honey, when it comes to you. Yeah, Steve, it's another Knopfler one. That's why I played it for you. And well, actually, I say it's a Knopfler one. I think it's one he played with the Notting Hillbillies, who were really good. I don't know if any of you have heard the Notting Hillbillies. Yours is a classical guitar, okay? Yeah. It does sound a little bit different to that. Yeah, I like the Notting Hillbillies. You know, they there were a few tracks on the album which were really nice. There was that other one as well, which was like a. It's a lovely little rhythm, yeah, and it just goes blue. Stay away from me. Blues, why don't you let me be somehow? Been ages since I played it, but I used to play quite a few off the Notting Hillbillies record. It was quite a nice album that I could revive them quite easily. Tom, I haven't really, to be honest, Tom, I haven't looked at a lot of his solo music. I used to be an absolute massive fan of Mark Knopfler during his Dire Straits days, you know, and also the Notting Hillbillies days. But I'm not mad on a lot of his solo music. All his kind of Celtic stuff and things like that. As good as it is and everything, it just doesn't, kind of do it for me. I know that's I'm in the minority there. I know a lot of people like his solo stuff and things, but I tended to learn a lot of his Dire Straits songs and the Notting Hill Billies and some of his kind of solo things as well. But fantastic guitarist, obviously, goes without saying. Did anybody hear my Memphis Mini song? My old time blues, because you know what I'm like for my old time blues. I'm always kind of going around that one. I'm going to be doing a lesson soon on this Memphis Mini song. I'll just play you a couple of bars. I wanna go out, cheat a little bit, but I'm scared my girl might quit. I can't afford to do it. No, I can't afford to do it. I can't afford to do it. I can't afford to lose my girl. She suffers every night, works hard every day. Then I take her money and throw it all away. I can't afford to do it. I can't afford to do it. I can't afford to do it. I can't afford to lose my girl. You can spend my money, wear my clothes, catch you messing with my girl, I'll bust you in your nose. To do it, I can't afford to do it. I can't afford to do it. I can't afford to lose my girl. Now that's a 3-chord song, Steve, like we were saying, and like you were saying as well. You take the vocal away and you just strum it, but it still sounds nice for me. Yeah, Stompbox. It is. It's a nice kind of groove to it, isn't it? I think so anyway, yeah, for sure. God, this sounds out of tune badly. So, while I'm doing this, I just wanted to share. God, no wonder. I just wanted to share my findings with you regarding guitar strings for anybody who's interested. Yeah, Stax, this is your first time here, obviously, because I'm always playing Robert Johnson, yeah? He is a favourite of mine, just a little ditty. Don't you wanna go? I said, hey, baby, don't you wanna go back to the land of California, my sweet home, Chicago? Now 1 and 1 is 2, baby. 2 and 2 is 4. I'm heavy loaded, baby. I'm booked, I gotta go. I'm singing, hey, hey, baby, don't you wanna go back to the land of California, my sweet home, Chicago? Yeah, a bit of Robert Johnson for you there. Okay, so back to my findings with the strings, okay? For those of you who are interested. I've been carrying out a lot of experiments. Yeah, thank you. Hey, hi, Mike Jam. Nice to see you. Okay, let me get on to this, because often I'm kind of trying to tell you something, all these things are coming up, so I'm just going to get on with it now, and I'll come back in a second. Strings. Coated and uncoated. Obviously the coated lasts a lot longer. I very rarely use uncoated strings these days. That's not to say that they're not good. I do like D'Addario's uncoated phosphor bronze strings. It's just that they don't last a very long time. And I change my strings very, very frequently because I play a lot of guitar. So if you're going to go for just like standard phosphor bronze and you're interested in what I use, as I say, use D'Addario phosphor bronze uncoated EJ15s, which are extra lights. More recently, I've been conducting an experiment with coated strings. Now, probably most of you will have heard of Elixirs. I did a kind of comparison between Elixir strings and D'Addario EXP, which is another coated string, and more recently, Santa Cruz parabolic strings. Now, the Santa Cruz are the most expensive strings that I've really ever bought. And I'm enjoying these strings a great deal. They're very, very nice strings, okay? They're very different to other strings because they're based on tension. Now, I was expecting them to be very loose, looser, should I say, than the other types of strings, but in reality, they're not. They're the same kind of tension. But there is a quality to these Santa Cruz strings which are very, very nice, okay? Now, if you're interested in longevity, it's too early for me to say about these Santa Cruz strings because they've only been on a week. Now, I found that with the D'Addario EXPs, I got about 5 weeks out of them playing every day before they started losing their edge. Now, the Elixir lasted a little bit longer. So the Elixir is the longest lasting string that I've used to maintain its tone. However, that does come at a cost. I find that cosmetically, to look at the strings, the Elixirs this is, after they've been on your guitar for that amount of time, so 4 weeks plus, they start looking very dirty because I think they absorb the oils in your fingers and things like that. So they get a little bit mucky, even though, despite your hands being spotless and clean and everything, they still go off color. And so I really don't like the look of those after 4 or 5 weeks. I know that's crazy because it's only an aesthetic thing and they still sound okay. But for me, I didn't like that about them. The EXP is a very, very nice string by D'Addario. That's certainly worth taking a look at. And these parabolic strings by Santa Cruz are a very nice string, although they are heavier than what I'm used to. I use extra lights and I can kind of manage with custom lights as well. But these are probably lights and they're much, much harder to shift around. So if you're trying to bend, yeah, sure, I can still do it and things. But it's just not as easy to push them about the place and things like that. So, you know, that's just a few little tips for you regarding strings and things like that. It's always good to try as many makes as you can because, you know, just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And you might have your own favourites and things like that. Yeah, thanks, James. Thank you very much for that, James. Much appreciated. It's always very, very cool when you can do that. Now, I am... Yeah, well, if you want to send me a set, Mike, I'll be happy to try those. Thanks, Stacks. That's cool. Anybody for one more Robert Johnson? Or have you had enough of him? I'm going to wait for an answer on that. Any answers? Do we have any answers? All right. Well, look, this is one. This is a lesson. I imagine you guys. I imagine you guys are getting a little bit fed up with Robert Johnson. But anyway, I'll play you one more. Right. Oh, that's great to hear. Okay, this is one that I'm doing for my patrons. This is a new lesson. You know, I like to release as much as I can on my YouTube channel, but the people over at Patreon are really genuinely helping me continue with the lessons, so I have to give them something extra. These guys are the only people who are just helping me continue, guys. So, but nevertheless, I like to bring you as much as I can, and hopefully you'll get this one as well. All right, so it goes like this. Well, I followed her to the station with a suitcase in my hand. Yeah, I followed her to the station with a suitcase in my hand. Well, it's hard to tell when all your love's in vain, all my love's in vain. When the train come in the station, I looked her in the eye. When a train come in the station, I looked her in the eye. Well, I felt so lonesome, I could not help but cry. All my love's in vain. When the train left the station, there were two lights on behind. When the train had left the station, there were two lights on behind. Well, blue light was my blues, the red light was my mind. All my love's in vain. Yeah, it's a nice little song, that one, isn't it? I think so, anyway. And what I'm trying to do actually is just simplify some of these Robert Johnson songs so it makes it accessible for you to have a crack at them. Some of his stuff is very complicated and has very, very unusual rhythms and things like that. So the idea when I'm teaching some of these songs is not that I'm actually sounding like Robert Johnson, but more that I'm making the song accessible to you. If I can do that, then it's job done. So that's a good thing, yeah. Make some noise, yeah. So I hope that you will check those out, guys. And you know, I think it's worth spending a little bit of time on these things because they really help. If you're into blues and things, then they really, really help with all that type of stuff. So that's good. So I'm going to be heading off shortly, guys. So I don't know if there's any final requests before I go, or anybody want to ask me anything before I head off. But it's brilliant that you guys have taken the time to join me, and I thank all of you very, very much for joining me. For anybody who's watched my videos on YouTube, for anybody who's subscribed, for anybody who's clicked on the like and, you know, all that type of stuff, you're very welcome, Steve. You're very welcome, Stacks, and thank you for joining me. You're new, and it's always good to see somebody new. And if anybody, as I always say, guys, I kind of have to say, I will indeed. Thanks for that, James. For anybody who wants to support me over at Patreon, you'd be doing me a tremendous favour, guys. That's just Joe Murphy Guitar Lessons at Patreon. For the price of a coffee, you can help me continue making lessons for everybody. So look, guys, great to see you all. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Oh man, that really is fantastic. Yeah, I really appreciate, you guys giving me a shout out and kind of oh Bob, great to see you. I have a question. I'm a beginner. Is it not recommended to use a pick while learning to play the blues? You can use a pick. There are no rules, and if there are rules, then they're there to be broken. So, just do what's comfortable and do what gives you pleasure if you're a beginner. You can play blues with a plectrum. This is what it sounds like. I thought it was you, Frank. And definitely got my eyes on the game. You never guess what, Frank. I don't know if I told you, but I was up Liverpool at the weekend to see my mum for her 80th. And like I was saying to you, I've been searching high and low for Liverpool tickets. I've given up now because it would be on my bucket list to get a ticket for the Barcelona game, to get a couple of tickets for the Barcelona game. How much do you reckon they're worth? They've got to be a lot of money, I would imagine. Anyway, I was up there and my nephew, who is an Evertonian like yourself, asked me to go to the United game with him, and I went. There's what it looks like. And yeah, so where are you? Frank. Yeah. So I ended up going to the Everton game, Frank, which was painful, let me tell you. You were there. If I'd have known, we could have grabbed. Oh, Fred, that is. Oh man, Frank. I keep saying Fred. It's Frank. Frank, I'm so gutted. If I'd have known you were there, that's incredible. Did you enjoy stuff in Man United? Thanks, James. You must have enjoyed that, Frank. Yeah, I bet you did. I bet you had a good night. I had a pint in the Brick, Frank, with my nephew. Don't tell me you were there having a pint yourself. That would be crazy. But they were. There was a lot of banter about Liverpool and everything, so I had to kind of close my ears, put my headphones on. Oh my goodness. What a small world, Frank. That is incredible. You must know a hell of a lot of people, Frank, if you were running that place. Unfortunately, all of them would be blues, I'm sure. But I've still got my fingers crossed for next season with the tickets. That's about the best I can hope for, really, Frank. I can't see anything happening this season now. It's just too late, as I'm sure we're both aware. But it's good to touch bases with you. Pack the game in 5 years ago. All blues, all wrong, all wrong uns. Oh, that's crazy, isn't it, Frank? What a small world. Here I am on the Isle of Wight, and we were sat in the same stadium on Saturday, or Sunday even. It's incredible. Oh wow! I wish I'd have known that. I would have been saying hello to you and buying you a pint, mate. Well, guys, I better dash off and let you all get on with your day. It's wonderful that you've taken the time to kind of say hello and everything, and that's really, really great. And thanks for all your support, guys. Frank, take care, mate. Yeah, do you do that? Do that, Frank. It'd be great to hear from you, mate. And cheers, Paul. Thank you. Anybody else want to say bye before I head off? Now's the time. So I can say farewell in return. I'll give you a minute or so and then I'll hang up on this and we'll call it a day. Yeah, I guess you're done then. No more farewells coming in. Hey, so you what's your name then? The one who's doing after midnight. Tell me your name. Thanks, James. See you, Max. There. Take care, mate. Bye, Patrick. You take care, mate. But yeah, farewell. Omang. Omang. Yeah, okay. Cool. Just so I know. Omang, I've done a lot of stuff on Patreon if you want to join there. There's lots of bits and pieces for strumming and there's a master list there as well. So if you haven't checked out my Patreon, you might like to do that, Umang. There's lots of beginner stuff there and there's a master list with all the lessons. So that's up to you. Just type in Joe Murphy at Patreon Guitar Lessons and you'll get a lot of extra material there, buddy. All right, guys.